Hello and very welcome everyone to this session of the current affairs of 9th of January 2025. In today's session, we are going to discuss the current affairs that happened or the particular things that happened in India and all around the world on this day. We will see the type of things we can learn and we can add into our notes that will help in our upcoming exams. So let's start our session. Before we start, these are the topics I got covered for you. So I've got international news, national news, state news, banking and finance, defense, science and technology, sports, important days, books and authors, appointments and resignations. And last, we will talk about the obituaries. So we will talk about them one by one. So without wasting any time, let's start. Before we start, the images used in our slide deck are for educational purpose only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathee@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So first news that we have with us is meet sister Ina Lucas, the world's oldest living person. So sister Ina Lucas, she is basically a nun and she is the world's oldest living person. So let's read about her more. So sister Ina Canabro Lucas from Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil. So she is basically from Brazil, has been confirmed as the world's oldest living person at 116 years old by Longevity Quest. So basically, do not get confused that she is the oldest person and all that all. She is the oldest living person currently, if we talk about. Okay, so that is why this particular reference has been given, that she is the oldest living person currently, and her name is Sister Ina Lucas. Her confirmation came after the death of Tomiko Ituka of Japan on 29 December 2024. So basically in September 2024, Tomiko Ituka, she was confirmed as the oldest living person. At that time, she was 116 years old. But in December, she died. And now the oldest living person, this particular reference is now being given to this nun, and her name is Sister Ina Lucas. She's from Brazil. So Lucas, a lifelong nun, teacher and soccer enthusiast, is the 20th oldest person ever recorded and the second oldest nun in documented history. Her life journey spans faith, education, and a passion for soccer. So currently, she is the oldest living person in this world. Her name is Sister Ina Lucas. 10 years of NEET Aayog shaping India's future. So I hope you must have heard in your life about NEET Aayog, and that is the National Institution for Transforming India. If we talk about NEET Aayog, so NEET Aayog replaced Planning Commission and National Development Council in 2015 on 1st of January. So basically it has been 10 years that NEET Aayog is working in India. So let's read about it. So NEET Aayog was established on 1st January 2015, replacing the Planning Commission to better address the needs of a growing market-driven economy. Prime Minister Narendra Modi introduced NEET Aayog in his first Independence Day speech in 2014, emphasizing decentralization and competitive federalism. Over the past decade, NEET Aayog has evolved into a platform for policy innovation, addressing development challenges and promoting inclusive growth. The institution has focused on collaborative governance to drive India's progress. So as I was saying, so on 1st of January 2015, NEET Aayog came into existence, replacing the Planning Commission, and has been doing work regularly. NEET Aayog is basically an institution that consists of Prime Minister and other particular people, key people, who are regularly working towards the development or transforming this country into a developed country. So do remember, it has been 10 years that Niti Aayog is working in this country. Ujala, 10 years of energy efficient lighting. So another scheme that has completed 10 years of its existence in this country is Ujala. I hope you must have heard about Ujala. So let's read about it. Basically, there are two schemes. One is Ujala, one is Ujwala. So do not get confused between them. If we talk about Ujwala, that is related to the providing LPG cylinders along with subsidy to the poor people. And Ujala is basically providing LED bulbs and distributed saving energy, reducing cost, and cutting carbon emission nationwide. So for that purpose, Ujala scheme was introduced in 10 years back. So let's read more about it. So Ujala, that is Unnat Jyoti by affordable LEDs for all. Please, all of you who are going to take exams recently, please do remember the full form of this Ujala. This scheme, launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 5th January 2015, has completed a decade of impactful service. Originally launched as the Domestic Efficient Lighting Program, it revolutionized India's domestic lighting sector. The initiative provided affordable energy efficient LED bulbs, tube lights, and fans to households across the country. Ujala has contributed to lowering energy consumption, reducing carbon emissions, and making India a global leader in energy efficient lighting. So, if we talk about Ujala, so it is it has been 10 years of energy efficient lighting. Please do read out once again what is the full form of Ujala. That is Unnat Jyoti by affordable LEDs for all. Assam launches Gunotsav 2025, 14 lakh students to be assessed. So the Assam government launched the first phase of its flagship education evaluation program, Gunotsav 2025, on January 6, 2025. So it is a kind of an assessing program or evaluation program of the students, and it has been launched in Assam. The initiative aimed to assess the quality of education and ensure the improved learning outcomes for nearly 14.11 lakh students across the state. The program themed ensuring quality education will be conducted in 3 phases, covering a wide spectrum of schools and districts. External evaluators and various stakeholders are supporting the program to ensure its success. So do remember that Assam has launched the Gunotsav 2025, and it is a ensuring quality education system in Assam. Assam's chief minister is Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma. The capital is Dispur. Goa Bima Sakhi Yojana. So basically this is related to insurance. So let's read more about it. So on January 7th, 2025, Goa Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant, do remember this, who is the Chief Minister of Goa, from Mr. Pramod Sawant, launched the Bima Sakhi Yojana under the state Swayam Purna Goa 2.0 initiative. The program aimed to empower women by providing them with training and opportunities to become life insurance corporation agent, that is LIC agent. So basically this program is to help the women of Goa so that they can be given training and opportunities to become the LIC agent, so that they can work towards creating more and more insurance for the people of this country, for the people of this state. It promotes financially literacy and expand life insurance coverage at the grassroots level. The initiative is expected to enhance women's financial independence and security. So do remember, the question could be asked directly that Bima Sakhi Yojana is related to which particular state. So it is related to Goa. Goa's chief minister is Mr. Dr. Pramod Sawant. Another Yojana or another scheme, Jharkhand Mukhyamantri Maiya Samman Yojana. So let's read more about it. So the Jharkhand Mukhyamantri Maiya Samman Yojana is the financial assistance scheme launched by the Jharkhand government to empower women across the state. We all know the Jharkhand's chief minister is Mr. Hemant Soren. He was recently re-elected to this post. Initially launched in August 2024 by Chief Minister Hemant Soren, the scheme aimed to enhance the financial security of women by providing direct cash transfers. This initiative addresses socio-economic challenges, particularly in rural areas. It contributes to the state's development by improving household income and promoting financial inclusion. So do remember that Jharkhand Mukhyamantri Maiya Samman Yojana is basically related to Jharkhand, and the Chief Minister of Jharkhand is Mr. Hemant Soren, and it is related to providing financial assistance to the women in Jharkhand and financial security to the women by providing direct cash transfers. If we talk about two schemes that we have read particularly in this session, first is related to Goa, in which the women are to be appointed as LIC agent, and they will be given the responsibility to introduce this insurance scheme to the people. And other than that, Jharkhand's Mukhyamantri Maiya Samman Yojana is also related to provide financial security to the women of Jharkhand. RBI, that is the highest authority of banking in our country, lifts lending restrictions on Asirvad Microfinance and DMI Finance. So the Reserve Bank of India, that is the highest regulatory body of banking in our country, has lifted the restrictions imposed on Asirvad Microfinance Limited and DMI Finance Private Limited. This decision allows both financial institutions to resume loan sanctioning and disbursal operations immediately. The lifting of restrictions is expected to boost their lending activities and support economic growth. The move reflects RBI's confidence in the improved financial health of these institutions. So basically, RBI put restrictions on those companies basically who are not complying with the guidelines of the RBI generally. And do remember one thing, that putting the restrictions on some companies does not mean that the company is bankrupt or something. If it is a bankrupt company or something, or a bankrupt finance company, then RBI will issue a particular guideline regarding that. But if they are just putting some kind of restrictions, then that means that RBI wants that company to comply according to the rules and regulations of the RBI. So that is the point here. Another one, Bajaj Broking and TMB partner for unified 3-in-1 account services. So Bajaj Broking, a subsidiary of Bajaj Finance Limited, has partnered with Tamilind Mercantile Bank, that is TMB. They have introduced a comprehensive 3-in-1 account solutions that integrates banking, broking, and investment services. This partnership aims to provide customers with a seamless and unified financial experience. The 3-in-1 account service is expected to enhance customer convenience and financial management. So do remember that Bajaj Broking and TMB partner for unified 3-in-1 account services. India's financial year 25 outlook: per capita GDP to rise by rupees 35,000. So let's read more about it. So State Bank of India has revised its GDP growth forecast for the financial year 2024-2025, that is financial year 25, to 6.3%. This is slightly below the National Statistical Office projection of 6.4%. The adjustment reflects concerns over a slowdown in lending and manufacturing coupled with a high base effect from the previous year. Despite these challenges, per capita nominal GDP is expected to increase by rupees 35,000 compared to financial year 23, indicating a positive trend in individual economic well-being. So if we talk about the per capita GDP, and that will be rise by 35,000 according to the SBI. So this is the data according to the State Bank of India. Do remember that, not according to the RBI. And according to them, the particular GDP growth will be 6.3%. And according to NSO, what is the projection? According to NSO, the financial year 25, the GDP would be 6.4%. Another news, what is Abdali missile? So let's read more about it. So amid rising tensions in India-Bangladesh relations, Dhaka is reportedly considering purchasing the Abdali short-range ballistic missiles. Ballistic missiles, basically there are different type of missiles you must have heard about. Anti-tank missile, ballistic missile, cruise missile. So basically ballistic missiles are those, as you can see in the photo. Basically these missiles can be launched from the surface, and they have the ability to strike surface to surface, surface to air, different type of abilities they have. But one thing is important, that they can be launched only from the surface towards any particular thing. If we talk about the Abdali, so Abdali is a short range ballistic missile that is basically is a rising tension between India and Bangladesh, and Dhaka is reportedly considering purchasing the Abdali short range ballistic missiles. Abdali is a short range rod mobile solid propellant ballistic missile. Short range, we can know that it is for a not for a very long range, but for a short range it can be used. Road mobile, basically you can see that it has been implemented, or you can see it mounted on this truck. So that means basically it can be launched from a truck. That is why it is said that road mobile. Solid propellant ballistic missile, which means that the fuel that we are using in this missile is basically solid fuel, developed by the Pakistan Space Research Commission. That is why it is a kind of a tension which is creating between India and Bangladesh, sorry. The missile system is designed for quick response scenarios on the battlefield. This development highlights the growing defense dynamics in the region. So do remember that Abdali missile is to be inducted into the Bangladesh army, and Bangladesh is going to take this from the Pakistan army. And apart from that, do remember that it is going to be a kind of a tension between India and Bangladesh. India-US collaboration on sonobuoy production for Indian Navy. So India and the US have entered into a significant partnership for co-producing US sonobuoys to enhance undersea domain awareness for the Indian Navy. This collaboration aims to improve naval capabilities and track submarines in the deep seas, responding to the growing Chinese naval presence in the Indian Ocean region. Ultramarine, that is a US-based leader in undersea warfare technology, and Bharat Dynamics Limited will jointly manufacture sonobuoys. The partnership ensures interoperability between the US and Indian navies, as well as allied nations like Australia and Japan. So do understand this thing, that India, US are collaborating on sonobuoy production for Indian Navy. So in this particular news session, we have read about two basic systems. One is the Abdali missile, that is a kind of a tension between India and Bangladesh. And another one is the sonobuoy production, that is being a kind of a collaboration between India and US. Understanding isolation guidelines for human metapneumovirus, that is HMPV, protecting yourself and others. So you must have heard about HMPV for the last around 20-30 days, that it is being the number of cases of this particular virus have risen in China, and some of the cases are also being found in India also. So now let's read out that what are the guidelines that have been issued regarding the HMPV. So human metapneumovirus, that is HMPV, is a significant respiratory virus that primarily affects young children, older adults, and immunocompromised individuals. Basically, young toddlers, and other than that, older adults, and other than that, those individuals whose body are vulnerable with related to this virus, or you can say the immunocompromised individuals are to be affected by this virus. It causes a range of illness from mild respiratory infections to severe conditions like bronchiolitis and pneumonia. HMPV has been under increased scrutiny following a rise in case globally, including detections in Karnataka, India. The Union Ministry of Health has issued specific directives to bolster testing efforts and prevent the virus spreads. So do remember that if we are talking about the HMPV, so HMPV is there. Particularly, there are some guidelines that are being issued, and HMPV, basically the number of cases are found in China firstly, but according to the health ministry of our country, basically this is a kind of a virus that is a common virus in China in the month of December and January. And but as we are particularly detecting and we are particularly having some cases of this virus also, so some of the guidelines are being introduced. But the things so far are under control according to the health ministry. What is the full form as HMPV? That is human metapneumovirus. Basically, pneumo means it is related to the lungs and respiratory system. IIT Madras set record with Asia's largest wave basin. So let's see that what it is all about. So IIT Madras has successfully commissioned Asia's largest shallow wave basin at its Discovery campus in Thayur. So basically, there's a wave basin discovery thing has been introduced into the IIT Madras campus in Discovery campus in Thayur. And the purpose of this kind of creating this kind of wave basin is to see that what we can do in empowering and doing better in terms of controlling the coastal areas of India and other things. So this research facility is designed to address complex coastal engineering challenges, as I was saying. It is expected to make significant contribution to marine science and engineering. Developed with indigenous technology, the shallow wave basin enhances the country's capabilities in port and waterway research without relying on foreign technology. So to create more better engineering things with relation to the coastal engineering, the IIT Madras has successfully commissioned Asia's largest shallow wave basin at its Discovery campus in Thayur. What is rabbit fever? So rabbit fever or tularemia is a rare, potentially fatal disease caused by Francisella tularensis. It affects humans through contact with infected animals, bite, or contaminated water. Symptoms include fever, ulcer, and respiratory issues. Tularemia can be treated with antibiotics but lacks a vaccine in the US between 2011 and 2022. There's been a 56% increase in the annual average incidence of tularemia infections compared with previous years from 2001 to 2010. So do remember about the rabbit fever as it was in news. So rabbit fever, or another name for rabbit fever to remember, is tularemia. Rare, potentially fatal disease. Fatal disease means that it can kill the person, and caused by Francisella tularensis. Martin Guptill announces retirement from international cricket. So those of you who are a cricket enthusiast like me, we all remember that run out that he had done and the type of impact that run out had done to the Indian cricket in 2019 during the semi-final between India and New Zealand. He was the person who did that run out, and when MS Dhoni got run out in the semi-finals and India lost the match. So now that person, that Martin Guptill, has announced retirement. So New Zealand's prolific opener, Martin Guptill, has officially retired from international cricket. His distinguished 14-year career began in 2009. Guptill represented the Black Caps in 198 one-day internationals and 122 T20 internationals and 47 test matches. He amazed a total of 14,877 runs across all formats. So do remember his name, Martin Guptill, and he was from New Zealand, and now he's now retired and basically started his career in 2009. Earth's Rotation Day 2025. So Earth's Rotation Day, observed on January 8, commemorates the French physicist Leon Foucault 1851 groundbreaking experiment that proved the Earth's rotation. So do remember that Earth Rotation Day falls on 8th of January. Using a pendulum, Foucault demonstrated the planet's spin on its axis, revolutionizing scientific understandings. This day emphasizes scientific curiosity, especially among children. It fosters a deep appreciation for Earth's dynamic movements. So do remember, Earth's Rotation Day falls on 8th of January. If we talk about the motions of the Earth, so according to that, 3 very important days are now very important with relation to the motions of the Earth around the Sun and around itself. One is the 8th of January. It is famously known as the Earth's Rotation Day. 4th of January is basically, and 3rd of January and 4th of July. Both these dates are also very important. If we talk about the 4th of July, so that is basically the day that is known as aphelion, and 3rd of January is basically known as perihelion. What is meaning of perihelion? Perihelion means when the Earth is closer to the Sun, that is on 3rd of January. And 4th of July is aphelion. That means the Earth and Sun are at the farthest point from each other. So that is called perihelion and aphelion. T. Pandey, Revenue Secretary, and A. Chawla, Secretary, DIPAM, appointed. On January 8, 2025, the Appointments Committee of the Cabinet approved significant changes in top positions within the Ministry of Finance. These strategic appointments include the reassignment of Tuhin Kanta Pandey and Arunish Chawla to key roles. The reshuffles are seen as pivotal as the government prepares for the budget presentation by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on 1st January 2025. The changes reflect a continued focus on strengthening the Finance Ministry's leadership for critical policy decisions and financial management. So do remember that T. Pandey, Revenue Secretary, and A. Chawla, Secretary, DIPAM, appointed. Appointment of Shri Ashish Nathani as a judge of Uttarakhand High Court. So on 6th of January 2025, the central government appointed Shri Ashish Nathani, a distinguished judicial officer, as the judge of the Uttarakhand High Court. This appointment addresses the current shortfall in the court's sanctioned strength of 11 judges. The court has been functioning with only 6 judges, leaving 5 vacancies. Nathani's appointment is expected to enhance the court's efficiency and judicial capacity. Do remember that the High Court of Uttarakhand basically is based in Nainital. So do remember, Ashish Nathani has been appointed as the judge in the Uttarakhand High Court. Total number of judges in Uttarakhand High Court are 11. Pritish Nandi, a multi-faceted legacy in Indian arts and media. Pritish Nandi, the esteemed poet, journalist, filmmaker, and former Rajya Sabha member, passed away on 8 January 2025 at the age of 73. He died of a cardiac arrest at his residence in South Mumbai. His last rites were conducted the same evening. Nandi leaves behind a multifaceted legacy in Indian arts and media. So do remember, a celebrity, a personality, a filmmaker, journalist, and former Rajya Sabha member, Pritish Nandi, passed away. And that's it in this session, guys. I hope you learned a lot of things with me in this session and gained great knowledge. I hope that this all information will help you in your upcoming exams and you will get a lot of questions from them. I will meet you in the next session. And till the time we meet, bye bye. Take care, everyone, and see you soon.